Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Tuesday. Nice afternoon after we got a lot of snow. What's going on, Big E?
Not much, man. Just another Tuesday afternoon. We're into the new year now. First show of the new year.
First show of the new year. Yeah. 2021. We coming strong, baby. Hey, E, I want to say Happy New Year, man.
Yeah.
Glad we lived see another year. One thing is exciting that we get to kick this off, man. You know, going into basketball season, wrestling season. We're going to talk a little bit about basketball. Got a couple special good guests coming on tonight. We got Big E?
We got Alton Robinson, a.k.a. Big Country. He'll be Country, baby. Today, so, and then we got DB coach Dobson.
All right, we got, Dobbs, you know, from...
Dobbs, my bad.
It's all right, Big E. Hey, first year we're kicking the show off strong. But, yeah, we'll have Dobbins come on, man, and talk a little bit what he got going. You know, DB coach, been around, played up at Tulsa, you know. I mean, the guys coached some really good guys, some guys at OU, K-State. He got guys over, so we'll let him talk about, you know, what's it all about being a good DB. But, folks, man, like I said, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of nice outside, you know. It's kind of crazy, you know. We went to bed on New Year's Eve, you know, kind of, you know, rainy, a little sleet. Wake up the next morning to a lot of snow, man.
Yeah, it was like 6-7 inches around here.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. But, you know, it's so funny. You know, you look now, there's not a peep of snow on the ground. But, you know, I tell you, man, I'm excited, man. You know, some good things going on this week. McGinnis kicked off its 61st annual boys basketball tournament with some pretty good teams in it, Big E.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They got Edmond Memorial. They'll kick off, you know, the 12:30 game against Norman. Then they got Edmond Santa Fe face Norman North. Then you got Choctaw and Bishop McGinnis. That's kind of a homer cooking for McGinnis, but they don't know Choctaw ain't the same Choctaw no more in basketball. Not. It's a little different, different. Then you got Dell City finishing off the nightcap with Deer Creek. So you got some pretty good teams in it, you know. Want to get a shout out to Carl Albert. They won the Mustang tournament.
Yeah, they won the Mustang tournament, beating Midwest City. Kind of an upset in my mind. I thought Midwest City would go and come out with the win, but, you know, Carl Albert runs Mid-Dell and everything.
I got to give it up to him, you know, kind of like you said, you know, you thought the Bombers would pull it off. But I guess in basketball, you know, 5A, 6A, 4A is all kind of the same, you know. But I'll tell you the thing about, you know, like you said, you know, Carl Albert, you know, kind of an upset. But Coach Price does a good job. Him and Eddie Hurl, man. You know, I know Eddie's son's kind of running point guard over there for those guys, and his big brother's playing, you know, a little college ball. But, you know, Eddie's been around for a while, old Choctaw guy, but, you know, he's been coaching for – so, you know, a few years now, you know, with his AAU. And I know he's coaching his girls team flight. But Eddie's been around for a while. And, you know, Coach Price has been there. You know, he started over at Choctaw coaching, you know, boys basketball. Now he's over at Carl Albert, man. And they got a good chance to win 5A state because, you know, I thought Dell City was still 5A. But Dell City's not 5A no more.
Yeah, they're in 6A, right?
They're 6A. And I tell you, no, think about basketball. It's all one class. It ain't no 6A1, 6A2.
So
it's all one.
Okay.
So I tell you, man, I would have picked Dell City to win state, but you know with what's going on with you know all being 1-6A and man, it's gonna be tough. You know because like I said, you know 6A is tough in basketball. Edmond Memorial each year they prove to be a powerhouse. You know I know Dell City's good. You know, Coach Simpson over at Choctaw is probably going to make a run with those boys. But Big E, like I said, you know, we got a good show going tonight, man. We're going to kick it off, man. You know, we got, you know, Big Alton coming on, man. That's, you know, starting center for the, you know, Yellow Jackets. Yeah. One of my favorite players, man. I'm telling you, man.
One of mine, too.
You guys get to listen to this, man. He's going to have y'all cracking up because he's just a genuine kid. I mean, he's just a nice young man. He's a big old giant, but he's just a nice guy. But, you know, you can get him mad, though. The kid has played both sides of the ball. Played some, you know, nose guard last year for the Jackets, and he's a starting center now. But
I remember playing in a JV game, and they let him run the ball one time. they gave that man the ball and ran it.
He did his thing though. I don't know if he scored. I think he might have fumbled in that, but
I don't know.
But you know,
he got the yards we needed.
Yeah, that's it. But hey, you know, we'll bring him on back after we listen to one of our what?
One of our sponsors.
Here we go.
Thank you.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Linex Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports, and we are joined here by Big Country, Alton Robinson. Alton, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Tony said that you fumbled that ball, but I don't remember that happening. Did you fumble that ball when you ran it?
Definitely not.
All right, I didn't think so.
My fault, Big Country. My fault, baby. I'm going to give you your props. He didn't fumble. He got the yards we needed. I tell you, folks, this guy's a genuine football player, man. Comes from a great family. Mom, Tammy, she helped us with the Touchdown Club last year, and I was on board. Before we get started, I know this is an easy interview, but I got to give a shout-out to Big A because, one, when he was a freshman, he used to help me set up the Touchdown Club. He would help me set up all the chairs, tear it down. So, you can't get a lot of guys that play football. Most of the time, when the game's going on, they want to sit in the stand, especially their freshman year. They're not playing, varsity. But he always stood by me, helped me get everything set up. So I got a chance to work side by side with this young man, and I think nothing but the best of this guy. I hope he get the offer he deserved because I'm telling you, folks, this guy's a hell of a football player. The guy he's done the things right. He's put on the right weight. He's looking good. He's the starting center for the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, man. They got them to the state championship. So, Big A, take over, baby. This is all you.
So, last season was definitely a breakout season for Choctaw. First time making it to state since the 60s. Kind of like, what was the atmosphere in the locker room at practice? What was the feel like around that time? And just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the atmosphere really wasn't that different from last year because we all wanted to win every single game.
Right.
And it didn't quite happen that way, but we all wanted it and we all tried to do it.
Right. And, you guys came so close to the gold ball, like you were right there, lost by 3 points. You had a chance at the end of the game. Just didn't happen. But knowing that you guys can get there, y'all went there. Y'all just didn't come away with it. What kind of confidence and how confident are you guys going into the offseason leading up into next season?
We're really confident. I think we can do it again. We aren't losing that many seniors. So,
yeah, we got a lot of guys coming back. And then, just saw today that you got selected to the third team All-State, so congratulations on that.
Congrats.
And, is being a first-team All-Stater going to be one of your goals for you next year, just a personal goal?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
I'll tell you this, though, man, kind of watching you grow the last few years, man, you've kind of got yourself to the point, this year, having a good year, not one thing I've kind of watched y'all is the offensive line because most of you guys are all coming back next year, so you guys be solid on the offensive line, and you got, Kay McConnell, sitting right next to you, a young man that's, is getting some offers, and, only thing they can do is help you get offers because, you guys, I think he's 6'6", and what are you sitting about 6'5", and and your body frame looks good, and the funny thing is, if you look at Humphreys from OU, you're kind of built just like that guy, and I tell you, it's people sleeping on you, but they really need to get the cameras out and start evaluating you because, you're a hell of a, I'm telling you right now, you're a D1 prospect. You might not be getting the looks, but if you go take care of business this summer at some camps and do the things you got to do, your name's going to be on the board. And one thing it does, like you said, becoming that third team, hey, that puts your name out there right there, so people's going to have their eye on you. You just got to keep doing the things you got to do. Like you say, you're a class act in the classroom. You're a great team and, leader on the football field. You don't have attitude. You don't throw fits. And I just tell you, being part of Yellow Jackets, man, losing your offensive line, from last year, that's one of the things I want to ask you. You had Philborn. Now this year you guys got is it Coach
Tillinger.
Tillinger is your coach. How is that?
Or not Tillinger, Gilbert.
Gilbert. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Gilbert. So what's the difference of having them two different guys? Because it's a whole different style with having Still at quarterback because he's more of a scrambler, can get out and run and throw it in. That was more a pocket passer. So what's the difference, you think?
Well, the difference between Fearborn and Gilbert is there's really not very much difference at all. But the difference between Thad and Steele, there's quite a bit of difference, but most of it is the play calling. He does whenever he scrambles, most of the time he's supposed to.
Yeah, he's a if you look at him, he's a bigger version of Johnny Football, the guy that played over at
Texas A&M.
A&M, he's a bigger version of him, The guy can get out and scramble a little bit, and so that kind of keeps you guys, on his backside. He had the block for him, so it is kind of tough because it might be, with a drop back pass, just 1, 2, 3, boom, balls out. With him, he's scrambling, he's looking for that big play, and you guys had a lot of big plays, this year, and I tell you, because your sophomore year you played a little nose guard. Now this year you're starting at center. So what's the difference between those two? Because nose guard, you're trying to knock the hell out of that center. But at center, you're trying to keep that nose guard out. So is there a big difference between those two different positions?
Really, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference.
Just
snap the ball.
Yeah. And that's going to end up helping you because like you playing nose guard, you've been coached at that position, so you kind of have a feel of what's coming for you. Like blitz packages and what's going to be coming after you, and you can kind of pick up on that easier. So I think that's going to end up helping you in the long run, assuming that you stay on the offensive line and you stay at center and you're snapping the ball. But like Tony mentioned, you should be a D1 guy. I would agree. I mean, you got the size. What are you? You're like 6'5", 300 pounds.
Right.
Right there. Yeah. So, I mean, tremendous size, exactly what you're looking for size-wise in an O lineman and a center. You got, just in the backyard, you had Creed Humphrey from OU. He just declared for the NFL, similar size to him. So, but upon that, have you been getting any attention from colleges yet so far? And if you have, who, anybody came in there to check you out?
I've gotten a few. Well, I've been contacted by a few colleges, but at school, there haven't been any that have came and called me in.
Yeah. Probably having to do with COVID and stuff like that. But
I'll tell you, I did see the other day you got something from Eastern Michigan, right?
Right.
And that's good. I mean, have you went on there and filled out their questionnaire and did all the things they need you to do? I mean, because that's the thing about it, people really don't know, with the recruiting, because I know a lot of times, us parents, we get caught up, man, should my baby be D1? Should my baby be D2? Should my baby be D3 or NAI? But one of the things I've talked to a guy that we had on the show was Chad Cargo, and he kind of told us one thing that you got to do that his son, what he did with his son is sometimes you got to go fill that questionnaire out. Then you fill that question out. Then you find that position coach, and then you send him your tape. Then you start kind of contacting him, and then find out what camp he's having and stuff like that. So sometimes you gotta don't wait on the coach. You gotta go do it yourself. That's something I've learned, with my two boys. That hey, you gotta promote yourself. Because you gotta think the coach do have a bunch of kids he has to promote, but the best person that can promote themselves is who? Yourself. Yeah. So I think, with your mom and dad, that can probably help you do that, because if you got Eastern Michigan, calling you, all you need is that one hit. And when you get that one hit, they're all going to start hitting on you. So, and you, like I said, you got the great size, you get with, I know you're talking to your mom. She said, you're going to get with Coach Brown and kind of work on your footwork stuff. And that's something, when I have Dobbins on, we're going to talk about that, because I think a lot of guys think, oh, I'm a lineman. Because I know you go see JR. So what do you and JR, what kind of drills you do when you with JR?
We do just about every pass play drill that you can think of.
So if there's anything in your game that you think you would have to improve, what would you say it is?
Just about everything. There's always room to improve on everything.
That's what I like to hear. I say that all the time.
Let's keep it at 100. Yeah. That's what we like to hear right there. Yeah. Because, some people think they're better than what they are, but you know what? Like you said, you got things to improve. But one thing I will say to you, though, I know Eastern Michigan reach out to you. Fill out the questionnaire, man. Find out who that position coach is and reach out to him. Bug that guy. You might become a bugaboo, but let that guy know, hey, you're interested. Because then, like I said, all you need is that one offer. And then, and these schools around here, like UCO, you got Cade Kelly up there that played at Choctaw. Let these guys know that you're interested, because like I said, man, you only get, next year, that's it. And so you got to put all that work in right now. And when spring ball comes around, you want to take care of business in spring ball and let people know, hey, I'm here. Keep track of your pancakes. And I'm not talking about the ones from my Denny's. I'm talking about the ones you put on the field. So keep track of your pancakes and stuff like that. But Big A, man, like I said, you got a big upside, though. Like I said, having Cade McConnell right next to you, though, man, you and him both should draw a lot of attention. Even Chip, though, you guys got a great offensive line coming back, and you guys are going to do some big things next year. So, making third team is big time. I know it might not seem like it, but I tell you what that does, it puts your name on the map, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that I want to talk about, it's not sports related, but your nickname, Big Country. If I remember right, am I not the first one that started calling you that?
As far as I know, you were.
Okay, so yeah, I coined that phrase. So I just wanted everybody to let them know you're going to be up on the big stage wherever you're at. They're going to be calling you Big Country, and I want them to know that Ethan Davis on Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports started calling you that.
Yeah,
so I started that. But it was great talking to you, Alton. Always good catching up with you. I went to a couple games last year and saw you. It's always a good time hanging out with you. And, good luck to you in the Choctaw Yellow Jackets next season, going into off season in the spring. I expect you guys to be right back in it in the playoffs and hopefully competing for another state title.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I mean, hey, I'm telling you, you're one of my favorite linemen. And guess what? You're the first lineman we ever had on. Keep it at 100.
That is true.
That is true, brother. So you get a gold ticket. So next time we see you, we'll get you a Chick-fil-A sandwich because we know them linemen like to eat. So we'll take care of you, baby. We'll get you a Chick-fil-A sandwich for being the first one to come on. What?
Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports.
Thanks, Big A.
Yeah, thanks, Alton.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Well, folks, that's Big Alton, man. Like I said, the starting center for the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, man. The guy played both sides of the ball, sophomore year, 11 Good ended up getting hurt. He ended up stepping up, ended up being center for a couple games, man. Yeah. Then when 11 Good came back, he stepped up and started playing some nose guard. So the guy is, you can see he's versatile. He can play both sides of the ball, but, he's going to make his money playing on that offensive side of the ball. And I'm really shocked that he hasn't got no offers with his size. And like I said, if he can go work on his speed, because, and we're going to talk, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about this when Dobbins come on. But if he can go work on his speed, I mean, look at the kid, man. I mean, dude he's a man child, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at a guy like that, man. I mean, I don't know why every small D1, even big D1s are not on, even D2s. I mean, everybody should be knocking on his door, man, because I'm telling you right now, you can breed this kid to what you want him to be, though, man. I mean, I'm telling you, he's playing center, and I think he's the perfect side for center, and I tell you right now, that offensive line for Choctaw, man, they got a lot of those kids coming back. They're going to be really loaded next year on that offensive line, so he's going to get a lot of attention, though. I mean, he
Choctaw
might not be
as a whole, there's going to return a bunch of guys. You got Deshaun Brown coming back. A lot of guys are going to be looking at him to be the top defensive end in the state next year. From what I saw last year, I can definitely see that as a possible prediction. Just how quick he is and able to get around the outside and get into the backfield. I mean, he was in the backfield every play. That's going to be one of the guys I'm going to keep my eye on next year. But, Choctaw, turning, I think it was like over half of the offense and just about half of the defense. So
I think they had 7 to 6 or something like that. But, I mean, they got a lot coming back, Hopefully everybody can stay healthy, and hopefully – everybody can get the vaccine shot. We ain't got to wear masks, and people can go to games and cheer. But I'll tell you right now, it's basketball season, man, and I'm ready to get some basketball guys on.
Yeah, me too.
Peek under the tent, I got Eric Goods going to probably join us here in the next few weeks. He got a deal going. Pro Skills is a little basketball organization he got going, and trying to get his daughter's Trinity Goods and start, to sign with Rice that plays for Choctaw. He got two twin girls that, I'm telling you right now, they're probably already getting recruited, man. They're in 8th grade. I mean, they're probably about 5'11", 5'10", good-sized young ladies. They can shoot the ball real good outside. So I talked to him today, and we want to promote girls sports. I think we don't do that enough here in Oklahoma, man. I just don't think, when we talk about it, I want to get the young lady over from Choctaw and talk about, girls wrestling. This year is going to be actually a real event. Last year was kind of like an exhibition for the state championship, but this year is real. It's real. It's big time because, they're trying to get everything put together. But now this year going into state, it's going to be real. But I tell you, wrestling's having a tough time. The Perry tournament got canceled, then the Gary tournament got canceled. And those are big time tournaments, though. I said, those are tournaments that you got people coming in. I know a few years ago, actually, it came up on my Facebook deal account. My son had beat a kid from Blair. And it was crazy to see that because the whole place went crazy because Blair's a big-time wrestling high school program that's out in Jersey. Yeah. And they bring some of the best of the best of the best. And they come here to this little small town in Gary, Oklahoma and hang out for the weekend and wrestle. But, everybody wants to beat them, and most of their starting the 13 weights, most every one of those kids win the bracket. Yeah. But Gabe stuck the kid in the semifinals, man, and it was crazy. But real quick, I'm gonna give my son a shout out, man.
He got the win the other night. And
he wrestled a kid, Flippo. That's been he's a junior. He's been there, ranked number 8 in the nation. Good wrestler, good kid. The funny thing is, Flippo's one that kind of took Gabe on his recruiting trip when he came up there and visited. Flippo kind of showed him around, but Staley's, he's lucky he got two salty wrestlers at that 149 pound. I don't know what Flippo's going to do, and I don't know how much they might split time. I kind of talked to Staley last night, and I'm that dad. Hey, whatever's best for the team, you know what I'm saying? And my kid's just a freshman, but to see him go beat a junior was kind of exciting, man, and to watch. And I was so nervous. I didn't even want to go. Zoe was playing in the championship that night, and I kind of wanted to just watch it on my phone. And he had texted the night before and asked was we coming, and I was like, man, I've been at all my kids' events, and I was just so nervous. Anytime your kid's in a big spotlight like that, you get kind of nervous. But it's exciting to see him do it, to see him take care of business. My daughter's team fell short in the finals, to Crush Queens, but I got to give it to Brad and Chris Carter, man. We just kind of put the lady hustles together, and I'm just telling you, that's a team to be reckoned with. We're going to Wichita next weekend. We're going to go to beat up on some Kansas team, but Chris Crawford, he put something on Facebook. Chris, we're coming to get you, baby. I'm telling you, I know you got the Twin Tower, but I'm telling you right now, Zoe's in there working. She ain't there working on them handles. But like I said, folks, I'm excited to do another show. We're going to, we'll talk to Mr. Dobbins when we come back after we listen to one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man. Hey, Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations, Del City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
Welcome back to Keep It in 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. On this, like I said, on this Tuesday afternoon with my man Big E. We're going to have another special guest. We already had Big Alton on.
Yeah, Big Country.
Big Country on. Got to talk to him about, what's he got planned for his future. But we're going to bring on the man that gets it going here, that gets all these DBs right here at Oklahoma, my man Dwight Dobbins. What's up, Dobbins? How you doing this evening, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Hey, we can't complain, man. We got you on the show, man, and I tell you, you don't want to get it started, man. If anybody's looking for some good footwork, go see my man Dobbins. He's up in Tulsa, but I'll tell you, he'll come down that turnpike and meet you because he's training a lot of good guys. So Dobbins, man, for the folks that don't know about you, because I do know about you, but Big E don't know about you. He was a receiver. He didn't play on that defensive side of the ball. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. So from the Oklahoma City area, I went to the Carl Albert.
Oh, man.
I gotta throw that out there to 5P guys, just a little something in 5A, but came out of there in 2011. Had the opportunity to play at the University of Tulsa under Bill Blankenship. Had some good years there. Learned a lot, some great coaching, and actually what kind of helped me to do what I'm doing today and just kind of giving back to the community, the youngsters, the college guys, looking to expand on their game at the defensive back position.
That's cool. So Dobbins, when you was at that Carl Albert, did you get a chance to win those state championship like they've been doing year in year out? Did you get a chance to win?
Of course.
One? How many did you get while you was there?
I got one though. I got one, and I think I lost 1 or 2, if I'm not mistaken. Because that's when Booker T was 5A, so
yeah, powerhouse.
We used to go back and forth with those guys. Yeah, definitely a powerhouse. But yeah, no, I got one my junior year for sure.
That's cool. So when you was coming out of Carl Albert, you played DB, and when you was getting recruited, was there certain schools looking at you? Because I know you picked the University of Tulsa. Was there any other schools kind of on your map that you want to go to, or was you just stuck on Tulsa?
Tulsa was the one that really showed the most love. I had some other Conference USA schools as well. around the surrounding country. But Tulsa made the most sense. It was close to home.
Yes, sir.
At the time, the defensive back coach was Van Malone. He's at Kansas State right now, if I'm not mistaken. So he took a chance on me. We formed a bond relationship. He's had a ton of experience at the college level, playing and coaching, and of course the NFL level as well. I think he played about 8 or 9 years at the safety position. So I had the chance to learn a lot from him. Great guy. And like I say, thank him forever for taking a chance on a 5'8" guy, 155 pounds soaking wet,
So how tall do you stand, Dobbins? How tall are you? 'Cause we
Man,
always like.
I gotta tell everybody. I tell everybody I'm 5'10", 5'10", but I'm technically 5'8.5".
See, that's some good stuff, man. That's what I like, Dobbins. You was a 5'8" defensive back and took care of business, man, and played in a tough conference like, Tulsa, which played, they play some big Power 5 schools, and you handle your business, though. That's what I like to hear, because I have a 5'8" kid that played corner, so I know what it's like. So,
yes, sir. It's all the mindset, right, man? The funny story, I didn't realize I was a small guy until I think my senior year in college. And I really wasn't into taking pictures, but, mom and dad, they love the grandparents. They love to take pictures after the games. And I'm standing next to a couple of my teammates, and I'm like, wow, I'm really small. So it was funny. So I never saw that. Of course, never thought like that. I felt I always played bigger than what I was, but I just thought that was a funny deal. It was like, wow, yeah, I kind of am small.
So, talk to me a little bit about your training, because like I said, I know you do a lot of good work, and I kind of had a chance to call you yesterday, and I kind of, thank Dobbins because, like I said, I kind of talked just a little brief minute ago about, my son winning that match, and I kind of called Dobbins, and I said, hey, man, I want to give it up to you, and he's like, Gabe's not playing football, but I think all that footwork stuff that he did working with you, man, he got out of a move the other day that you're like, how in the hell did he get out of that? But it's the quick feet, moving, the agility stuff that you're doing and being in the right position and balance. It's helped you. And we just got to talking to Big Alton, the offensive lineman. That's why I kind of told him, and I don't know if he needs to get hooked up with you, but, I just think it helps these guys that don't have really good feet to come see a guy like you, because I know what you've done, because my boys got to saw you, got to work out you for 2 or 3 years. I know RT's used you. And, some of the guys around the Metros use you. And you got, right now, you're still coaching some of the top kids. Can you tell us some of the kids that you're coaching right now and are still dealing with that's playing at the Division I level or Division II?
Yes, sir. Just some guys that come to mind. We just got done. I just walked in from a workout not too long ago. But guys like Miles Slusher, he's at University of Arkansas. Another guy was Wayne Jones. He's playing safety at K-State. We got another kid in Kewan Parker that's headed to the SEC. He's going to Arkansas as well.
Yes, sir.
And just a variation of other guys. Those are some guys that I saw today, actually, that we worked out. Again, those guys got a little break, whether before they get to college or home after the bowl game. So it's fun to work out with those guys, see how they've grown, what they've learned. I try to pick their brain because, I'm still a student of the game.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of how I got into it, right? Growing up, again, being small and wanting to play this violent sport, had a lot of injuries. And so that would hurt recruiting at times. Like I said, that's why I have so much love for Van Malone that took a chance on me along with those injuries that I had. And so I always knew after I'm done playing, I want to be able to share when something's taken away from you, you're still able to be dominant. You're still able to be competitive. And now we get into the more technical side of things and in all sports. And you talk about the footwork that we do, and your son was able to get out of a move in the wrestling game. I feel like what I do as far as movement and just the overall quick twitch abilities, it translates to any and every sport. No matter the gender, whatever it is, everybody, the faster you are, the quicker you are, the better athlete you'll be. And I really believe that.
That's good stuff. So, like, is Patrick Fields, is that one of the kids that you kind of work with that was kind of been under your guidance and, working to become to the D1 prospect that he is now at OU? Is he one of the guys that you work with?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Patrick Fields, man, we go way back. thinking about 8th grade, man, he came to me. He saw me working out with a guy, Keon Hatcher at the time. He was at Arkansas, but he's from the Owasso area. He's played in the league for a little while now too. But Patrick was a big fan of Keon, and Keon he's a great mentor around the city of Tulsa and Oklahoma, period. And so he reached out to me via social media, came out to a few workouts, and man, we've been tight ever since. Like I said, that dates back to his 8th grade year.
So that's some good stuff right there. When you got a guy that you start training at a young age, now he's playing college ball, and you look at some of the stuff that he's doing, you're like, man, I was part of that. You know, it's kind of like
amazing.
It is. It's like baking the cake, man. You see the finding touch of it. I'm a big guy, so I'm gonna talk about food. But you know,
I'm right there with you. Look, I'm right there with you.
You sit there and you see, man, what I've done. Because I'm telling you right now, he's probably one of the top DBs at OU. You know, and I tell you right now, you know, you look at what Gritch is doing. He's going to get those big time corners and safeties. And I tell you, OU's. You know, I know you're a Tulsa guy, but OU's turning it around. But even Tulsa though, you gotta love what Tulsa's done this year though, man.
Gotta love what they do. Man. Shout out to Aaron Fletcher.
Yes.
Shout out to Aaron Fletcher, man. He's doing his thing with those guys.
Yes, sir.
He may have 2 that come out. We're hoping they come back for one more year. You know, everybody has a chance to come back, but he's got 2 monsters out there on the outside. Man, his whole core is just ridiculous, man. They're gonna do some big things.
I'll tell you right this: if Tulsa gets beat the game, they're gonna beat you up after the game. So I'm gonna give them love for that, keeping it 100.
I can't talk about that one, man. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know, but you know, the thing about it, I kind of watched that video yesterday, man. And one thing I've kind of heard, I haven't seen nothing come down to anybody's getting suspended. I hope they kind of wash it out the way. You know, sometimes people don't understand, like you said, it's a violent game. You're in the middle of a game. People get to talking noise, man, and it's
yes,
crazy.
Sir.
I mean, it's just like that in Little League sports. I don't care what age group it is. It's from T-ball to high school, man. You know, people get fired up and get to talking. So, you know, at that time, your adrenaline's going, so stuff happens. But, you know, Dobbins, I'm going to kind of ask you, you know, some of the other guys that, you know, you respect at the training, you know, that's doing the same thing as you. Is there some guys that you kind of roll yourself out there and like, hey, I've kind of watched what this guy does. There's some big time name guys. I mean, you're big time here in Oklahoma, but you know you got guys in Texas and in different parts of the state.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I got a lot of brothers, a lot of OGs in the game. The guy that and again, Aaron Fletcher had the University of Tulsa coach. He I went to him first about it, and he connected me with David Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's out. Of course, he's a wide receiver trainer. He's been doing it for a long time and one of the best in the game. And it only makes sense I'm playing defensive back, but I want to go to the other side of the ball and pick their brain to see what they don't like and the things that they like to see in a defensive back. And so from here, he connected me with a guy named Clay Mack.
Clay Mack.
We call him the guru, man.
Yes.
That's my guy. He's helped me a lot. We talk all the time. He's always there to pick up the phone and just talk football. You got to clear the schedule for him, man. He'll talk all night.
Yeah.
But he knows a lot. Love him to death for it. He's helped me, some guys around my age. Another guy out in the Dallas area. And again, it's a lot of cats that I watch via social media, and I respect a lot of guys. Another guy is Flight Skills, man. He's doing his thing in the Dallas area as well.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it big time too. He's holding it down for the young guys around my age as well. So he has a great crop of guys. But those 3 I probably talk to the most. But again, it's cats all over the country, man. I love to see it. I tune in. And again, I've always been a student of the game, and I just like watching ball, man. There's a lot of guys doing it the right way, and I love it.
That's good stuff. You know, for a student athlete, you know, is trying to get to the next level to play at, you know, Division I, Division II, and what kind of advice would you give them, especially like you said, being a smaller guy and making it to a D1, a good school like Tulsa? What would you give a guy that's trying to make it though? Because you know, every kid's dream. You know, I mean, I'm a dad. Every kid's dream, or father's dream, is a kid to play at a Power 5, or, you know, in the Orange Bowl, you know, national championship game. So what advice would you tell a young man, you know, for him to try to make that dream?
Save the complaints. It's easy to complain, and it's everybody's doing it, and so it's easy to fall into that, and you get lost in that shuffle instead of just working. You got to stay 10 toes down, keep your head down, and grind. It was times where I thought, it's like, man, am I going to get anything? I'll take anything at this point when I wasn't hearing anything at all.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I would, at the same time, I'm getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, running around the neighborhood, going up to the school, working out late, whatever it is, continue to do that. Whatever you think that your flaws are, attack those, be open to criticism, and keep that work ethic. And also too, with the days of social media, we really got to take advantage of that, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. All these coaches nowadays have those as well. Man, be reaching out. You got to make yourself relevant. I tell parents, kids that I'm working with, it's like, man, it's just like that girl that you see all the time in the hallway of the lunchroom. You got to get her attention, right? And it's a lot of cats that's after. Well, it's the same thing. It's a lot of guys after these scholarships. If you got 20 to 25 scholarships, well, it's about 150 guys on the team, and everybody has an amount of scholarships.
Yes, sir.
At the Division I level. Shoot, we probably got about 6 to 8, and that's a big room at that particular position, and they're probably only bringing in 2 a year.
Yeah.
And it gets cut even short if they want to bring in a JUCO guy. So, man, it's a grind, but you just got to keep the faith. I grew up in the church, so I always had that behind me, and just put it in guys' hands. But like I said, the rest of it will take care of itself for sure. And two, again, don't get caught up so much in the Division I or bust, because these Division IIs, these threes, these NAIAs, man, you can go there, break records. You want to go somewhere where you want it.
Yes, sir.
I've had guys that have walked on to different places, and it's just not the same, and everybody's not built for that. You definitely want to go somewhere where you want it, man. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like going somewhere where you want it.
Yes, sir. So I know, Dobbins, you guys are kind of last few years, you guys are kind of dipped into the 7-on-7, with the Sooner 7 team, and you guys are, now you're doing a little bit more traveling. I heard you guys are fixing to go to is it Miami, Florida, or Miami?
That's a possibility, yes, sir. There's a tournament out there that we're thinking about. It may be too quick of a turnaround just because we just finished up. The tryouts. We're still kind of going through that because there's so many kids. That was a blessing, especially with everything going around the world now. We definitely had a great turnout.
I said over 300 some kids, huh?
Man, close to it. So it was definitely a blessing. Definitely crazy to see that. I remember myself and Derek Rasmussen, man. I think we came together about 2018, and we sat down and had a conversation. And this is something that we thought Oklahoma needed. We want Oklahoma on that. Definitely. And Marcus Pugh, we've all came together, and we got this thing rolling. Now we look up. We're going into our third year now, and the guys we've got to work with, the responses that we get from the parents, from the kids, is great. So now I think we're going to go in with about 3 different 18U teams, a 15U team, 12 and 14. So we've grown. We started at one team, going to one tournament, and now we have a whole list of events that we want to hit, tournaments that we've been invited to nationally, those type of things. And we thought it was a big deal to have 7-on-7. No, it's not. It's a form of football, and I think it's a great form of football. We compare it to AAU basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting more reps, right? And here in Oklahoma, we love the big men, and we're going to run that ball behind those guys, man. Shout out to those guys. But we don't get a chance to really sling it around a lot like some of these kids need to. And if you're a big-time guy, like let's say if you're a big-time guy at defensive back, you're probably not going to have the ball thrown at you at all. So how do you get that work? How do you get that film? And 7-on-7 we thought was a way to get that, because it's not any running at all. And you're going to run into some of these other big-time guys around the country that are dogs just like you.
Yes, sir.
And it builds confidence. We get the kids out of Oklahoma, do something fun, get to experience the bus rides. I tell you what, I mean, every event we went to, the funnest part is the hotel stays and just getting down there on the vans.
Yeah. Hey,
especially with kids. I mean, I remember it was last year, me and another coach, we took some kids out to just to like the Walmart so they get some snacks. I think we end up being in there for an hour just because the kids, the 12U kids, they're playing around. So that's what I love out of it, man. It's just something different.
I know those trips right there are fun. And like I said, I know next week we're taking my daughter's team Hustle. We're going to play in Wichita, and I'm excited, man. I'm probably more excited.
Right? Yeah.
I'm more excited than the kids, man. We're gonna sit around with the parents and sit around and hang out. And I know my wife was calling around saying, "Hey, do you guys have an indoor pool?" And I'm thinking the kids ain't gonna swim, but I mean I know what y'all about, man. Those are the good times, get to hang out with the kids and watching these kids grow. And I know you've done a lot, man. 'Cause I know you trained a lot of guys. I know we was making that trip up the Turnpike to go see you. And I just tell you, man, I want to thank you, hands down, which I mean, I know he's not doing it on the football field, but he's doing it on the wrestling mat. And, and seeing some of the other kids that work with you, man, it's just amazing because people don't realize, though, man, that stuff really helps you a lot, man. I'm just telling you, I wish they'd had this stuff when I was growing up. And then,
yes,
I give it up to you and Clay Mack, because, before, we started seeing you, we saw Clay Mack, but, to get on Clay Mack's schedule, man, it's so hard because, he was in Texas. He came down here a little bit, but then, we found out about you and, got linked up with you. It was great, man. Then when Gabe kind of went to the offensive side of the ball, we kind of stepped back. But I just tell you, Dobbins, I mean, you've done a great job with the kids here, coaching, 7-on-7 team. Do you ever see yourself as a, since you're so good with the kids, and do you ever see yourself as a head coach or getting in the coaching ranks or, college or high school, or do you just kind of like what you're doing, just training them?
Yeah, man, I never saw myself really as like a head coach or anything of that nature. I like the player development side. And I was just talking to another individual about this. And, I mean, there's some great coaches around here. A lot of respect to those guys. They go through a lot. I've seen it. I GA'd 4-year under Fletch at the University of Tulsa. That was a great experience. But I found out, I was like, man, I want to be on the player development side. That way, too, you get to work with the likes of everybody. You're not just, hey, you got this core guys, and you work with these guys and nobody else. Now I get to touch everybody, and that's what I want in all type of walks of life, man. And really, my big deal, really get into it. Of course, be staying around the game, but also just being in people's lives, man. I think that's very important, and just being a positive role model. It's a lot of silliness going around in the world today.
Yes, sir.
And just try to be that light at the end of the tunnel, man. It's like, hey, you can do this, and you can make this look cool, and not have to fall by the wayside what the world thinks is supposed to be cool.
I know you keep talking about Coach Fletcher, over at TU, defensive back coach, and I've got a chance to see work with Coach Fletcher. My boys went to a couple of camps, but do you kind of put kids since you work out some of the kids, you kind of, say, hey, Coach Fletcher, I got this kid, he's going to be a stud or blah, blah, blah. Do you kind of send him that way, or do you kind of let him evaluate on his own, or, how's that set up?
Definitely. And I always go to those guys for advice and the whole staff, but definitely Fletch, because again, I just respect his ability, his eye for talent. And, of course, we're trying to get those guys to the next level. So why not go to a guy at that level to see exactly what he's looking for? So that's what we do, man. I have a guy, they'll shoot me their film. I may make some edits. I'll shoot at the coach, and it's like, hey, what's your evaluation on this guy? So now I can come back to the kid, to the parents, and be as realistic as possible.
Yes, sir.
It's like, hey, this is what I see. This is what coach sees. This is what they're looking for. Continue to get better, or hey, you're right on track. Continue doing your thing. So different things like that, man. He's been a great help with that. I have a lot of guys around the country that I've been able to meet, and I can shoot that film to anybody, and those guys, give me their honest opinion back on a lot of these kids that I work with. So I think that's awesome, and that's a plus. So
going into the 22, 23 year, what are some of the DBs that you have out there that people might not know about that you can kind of put their name out right here on Keep It 100? Oklahoma High School Sports is what we do, baby. We keep it 100. Some of the young men, I know we kind of talked yesterday about the young man over at Coweta. I got a chance to watch him at some of your camps, and I tell you, I'm a big fan of him. For folks that might not know about him, but some of the guys that you're training right now that people need to keep their eye on is going to be some of the top DBs in the next few years.
Yeah, man. Mason Ford is a big time athlete. He can do it all, like literally all facets of the game, offense, defense, special teams. He's a straight killer. Glennie Jones, man, that's one of my favorites. He's an undersized guy like myself, but when you talk about a straight dog, comes from a great pedigree of guys in that Jones family. Kyron Downs, he's out of Bonita. He's a class of 2022. He'll be a senior next year. He's a big-time athlete, can really run, can do it all, rangy guy, both offense, defense. Gentry Williams, he's coming off the ACL, as everybody knows, but he's a big-time athlete. He's really known in the track world, but he can really ball on the football field. He brings that speed and size element to the game. Man, I just started working with Dylan Haas. He's out of Bigsby. Shout out to Bigsby, man. They got some dogs out there.
Yeah.
Now, what number was Dylan? What number is he?
I believe Dylan was number 2. I think he was number 2 this year. Okay. And again, it's a couple of guys that I work with. I get the numbers mixed up. Of course, I know I'm in the faces more than anything. He's a sophomore, so he's coming up that 2023 class with Mason. Man, guys all over. Jordan Drew out of Booker T. Washington. There's a lot of kids that have come out of there. Micah Tees. Man, the list goes on. I wish I had it in front of me.
No, that's cool, man. I mean,
just anybody out, but definitely, like it's a lot of cats, and they know who they are, and they show up to work all the time and trying to make noise here in the area.
That's cool. I mean, it's funny, you mentioned Bigsby. Me and Big E got a chance to talk to Bigsby's defensive back coach, Chris Cole, and I mean, I think it's his second year over there, but he kind of follows the show, and me and him would text during the season. I tell you, I got a lot of respect for Bigsby, man. I mean, year in, year out, man. You think they're gonna be down, but I tell you, that Presley kid is fun to watch. And they say he has a brother. I haven't got a chance to see any film on him yet, but they say he's just as good as the two older brothers. But I just tell you, man, Coach Montgomery over there, he got that train going, man. And I know, Corbin. I know you got a chance to know Corbin. He's doing a pretty good job over at Choctaw. But I just tell you, man, it's gonna be hard to beat Bigsby. And I know Choctaw had a chance, but I just tell you, it's gonna be hard because I think Bigsby. I mean, I think they're kind of young too. I think they lose their quarterback, but they got that main piece coming back. As long as you got that number one in the backfield, I'm telling you, they're in any ball game.
You do a lot with that one, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And shout out to Coach Corbin when he's done it at Choctaw and his staff. I got some really good friends on that staff as well, but they did a great job, and they're gonna be a force to reckon with for a long time, man. And me and Corbin go way back, man. He was at Carl Albert actually my 8th grade year, so we got to work together there. He had me at quarterback. We didn't lose a game, man. He let me run the show, baby. You know what I'm saying? It was all good.
Was you Jamel Holloway or what? Was you Jamel Holloway running the option or what? Would you have?
I was thinking, and we did. We ran the option. I like to sling it around a little bit, the deep balls. I couldn't do any intermediate, but I could throw it deep like Vic, man. I thought I was Vic. I was a lefty.
I love it. You keep it at 100.
Yes, sir. All day.
Yeah, so that's good stuff, man. So he got the chance to coach you, and like I said, seeing him grow up in his what he's done with Choctaw, and he's kind of turned that program around, man. Like I said, you got Jordan Mutes, defensive back. I don't know if you ever got a chance to work with him, but I tell you, man, once whoever gets a hold of him, and I know Porter, kind of changed and got him turned around a little bit. So I know Porter's another Carl Albert guy.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. Shout out Troy Porter, man. I think he was a big piece. That's that missing piece that they were needing.
No, you're right. You're
right. Great motivator for the kids. Knows a lot. If it wasn't for a couple different head injuries, he'd be playing on Sundays himself, man. He could really go. He's one of the greats at Carl Albert.
That's good stuff, though. Well, Dobbins, man, I'm glad you got a chance to come on, keeping it 100. Before we let you go, though, tell people your Twitter name, so for these young men that's going to catch this show, because I know we're going to have a lot of people following because, you're on here talking, good footwork stuff. Tell people your Twitter name so they can follow you. If somebody needs some good work, hey, he's the man to go see.
So on Twitter, man, it's just Dwight Dobbins. So at Dwight Dobbins, and I think my Instagram is at Dwight D. It's just Dwight DWIGHT / not slash, but just ending a capital D. So that's been that's me. I'm on those two different platforms. I do my best to answer everything. I'm kind of bad because I don't know. I feel old. Like, you know, I deal with a lot of kids. And they're like, bro, you don't know how to work this and that. I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. So,
hey, I'm right there with you. My daughter's 10 years old, Zoe, man, and thank God I got her. Think I got Ethan, man.
Yeah, they can do it all,
yeah,
right?
they can do it all, man. I don't even mess with TikTok, man. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, these kids are getting recruited from Snapchat to Instagram
Man,
to Twitter
for real.
to TikTok. I said, man, I don't know how to do, man, I barely know how to do Facebook. It's so funny though, man. This is the funny thing because my kids used to tease me about having Facebook, right? But now they're older, they're in college. I see Gabe on Facebook. I see Deshaun on Facebook. And my daughter, she's on Facebook. So I'm thinking, y'all used to tease me for being old, for being on Facebook.
Man,
but now that y'all are getting older, they're on Facebook. So
they're on Facebook.
That's
Look,
it.
I tell
That's
you,
it.
I think my aunt followed me on Facebook one time, and I saw my dad had one. I said, yeah, it's time to get off here. I can't.
But hey, my mom
way.
My mom got hers a couple months ago, man. And anytime I always tag her with what I'm doing in my shows, and she'll put something on there. Oh, bless you, love you. And I'm like, Mama, calm that stuff down, man. You send that to me one-on-one. You can't be sending that out to everybody to see.
For the world to see.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Hilarious.
But Dobbs, I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you, man. We need to catch up soon because, like I said, it's been a while since. But I wanted to call you yesterday, man. I just thought about I'm sitting in the stands on Sunday, and I'm thinking, man. I had to give it up to Dobbins, man, because he's the one to kind of help, Gabe get that agility and working with him and moving and stretching and all that. Like I said, we used to make that trip.
Shout out to Gabe, man, and D, man. Like those cats, like you said, they used to get on that turnpike and drive to Tulsa, and they would bring some of their comrades, and I really felt they had a huge part in how Choctaw is going right now, man. They shout out to them. Those guys are hard workers, some of the hardest I know. And they're doing a great job. They're gonna make it in life.
I appreciate that, sir. I really do. Like I said, I thank you for everything that you've done, for my boys and what you're doing with these young men that's out there that need you. Like I said, some of these kids don't have a father figure, so they look up to you, and you're a great role model to look up to. Like I said, Dobbins is a good guy, man. I always got a smile on his face, and I'm pretty sure all the ladies love chasing him because he's a pretty boy too. So,
he gonna get in trouble, man.
But thank you again for coming on, keeping it 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Take care. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Well, folks, that's Dwight Dobbins, man. Like I told you before, man, if you're looking for somebody that's going to get your feet right and get you in the right, I mean, you just heard the guy. You got Patrick Fields. He's coached some of the best kids in the state of Oklahoma.
Coach Trey Brown too, and he's going off to the NFL, so he just declared for the draft.
I mean, the guy's legit. I'm just telling you, man. I didn't jump in that car with 5 or 6 kids in the car with me driving up to the turnpike to go see him, man. And I'm telling you, he's a reasonable price too. You get some of these guys that are trying to charge you $30, $40 an hour, man. He's real reasonable. And I'm just telling you, he'll work with your schedule, man. And all he needs is just a little bit of area to get you going. And he's going, Gah! I love it, man. You play one of his clips if you can, man. You can find one real quick, man. I love to hear the way when he's doing his little clips and he's talking. But I tell you, man, he's hands-on. If you mess up, he makes you go back. Some of these guys are just collecting your money. He's not here to collect your money. He's here to teach you and get you right. And that's what I like about it, though, man. That's why I made that trip up to Tulsa. And I tell you, he used to work with me. Say, hey, Tony, if you can't make it, I'll meet you halfway. So he'll work with you. But I tell you, I mean, if you're looking at his resume, look at the kid he's coaching. Look at the stuff that he's doing. I mean, he's getting these kids right, man. He's working with them, and it's good stuff, though. I mean, if you see it, look at it, man. There's the backpedaling, the working with you, man. I mean, he's working with, guys that's in the NFL, guys that's going to go to the NFL. So shout out to, Dobbins, man. I really appreciate everything he's done for, my boys and the rest of the kids of Oklahoma. But, folks, I tell you, man, another great show with me and Big E today, man. I love it, man. I mean, each week we're putting on different people. I mean, we're not putting on, last week we had Carlton Hall on. Granted, he's up in Illinois, and a lot of people didn't know him about him. We didn't have all the hits we needed, but I tell you, he got a chance to talk, high school, sports, college, and all that. But the 2 guys we had on tonight, local Oklahoma guys, though, we need to follow these guys, and like I said, Big Alton, man, he's looking for his chance to get his, Division I, Division II. Like Dobbins said, it doesn't matter where you go, man. If you can go be a dog, they're going to come find you, man. And that's the thing about it. People don't realize that it's not merging. If people's not realizing if you're at an NAI school or Division II or Division III, that, oh, man, I'm not going to have a chance. if they're going to want you, they're going to come find you, man. If you go take care of business, like you said, go to a school that wants you. Don't go to a school because, oh, mom and dad want me to go there. Go to a school that you're going to have a chance to play. Don't go there somewhere you're going to sit there for 4 years and be on the bench. Am I right, E?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to go somewhere where you get a chance to get on the field and show your talents what you can do. So
yeah, and that's why I made sure to make that a point last week when we were talking to Carlton, don't D1 or bust, I mean, go to a school that wants you, that's going to play you, that's going to, they're going to help you out no matter the level. If you're good enough and you're a dog and you can go to the next level, they'll make sure that you get to that next level, but yeah, just wherever you get an opportunity, take it. I wish I would have had that opportunity. I would love to be back on the field, but God just didn't think that was in the plan for me. So now I'm here talking about sports, helping get other kids to where they can be and the best they can be. But yeah, any advantage that or any opportunity that you can get, it's a great opportunity.
No, I mean, and that's keeping it 100, like you said, man. Whatever you throw in your way, you tackle and you go get it, man. Like I said, I'm blessed to where I'm at. I got 5 kids, and forms in college. I mean, from my daughters to my boys. Zoe being my last one. Right now it's all about her. Like I said, we're gonna have Eric Gooden on, and we're gonna push girls sports, man. We really are. We're gonna talk girl wrestling. Girls basketball, because my last baby is a girl, so I want to see women's sports. Come up. I mean, some of the best women coaches out there. Jeannie Holbrook over there at Jones. Out there in El Reno. Jennifer Douglas, is doing a great job with that program. She's got her team to a state championship a couple times. I get to see a lot of these people on the weekends because, my daughter plays basketball. I'm excited about basketball, man. Like I said, Zoe's been on, 3 different teams. Her main 2 teams right now has been Team Hustle, which is a 4th grade team, and then Team Sting, with Chase and Tawny's been there with us, since she was 4 years old. It's kind of got her there. But, now to see her develop, become the player that she has become is, it's fun. And I'm not the dad that likes to brag on his kids and none of that. But it's fun to watch Zoe play because, I mean, she's just a different animal, man. And she likes to bring it, though. And she lets you know she doesn't talk noise. She doesn't say nothing. She let her game do the talking. Just in watching these girls become who they are. We got girls on our Team Hustle from all over. We got a girl from Lily, Oklahoma to Calumet. Her dad's a head basketball coach. I ain't got my Calumet hat on today, but Jacob Mayfield, he's a head coach, and his daughter, Hayden's a good ball player. To Addie, girl out of Shawnee. We got a girl out of Hera. Allie, we got Zoe right here in Choctaw. So we got girls all over. Then you got Brad's daughter, right here in Choctaw. So we got girls from all over, though, man.
Future's bright.
The future's bright. I mean, I know a lot of them not going to go to school together. That's Marley, Brad's daughter. I want to make sure I get his name right because he's the man that's behind the plan with Team Hustle. He'd be mad if I didn't get his daughter's name. But I just tell you, though, man, I'm blessed to, to come in the new year.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I kind of talked about it last week, we're not just talking. One thing Keep It 100 is going to do, we're going to have to write some stuff up, but we will do a scholarship, $1,000, $500 for the spring sports and $500 for the fall sports. Yeah. And why we want to do this, because like I said, a kid might not be able to, you're a college student, we got a minute or two before we get off here, but you're a college student, and granted, a kid might get a scholarship. And it's like I said, Division II's, you only get so much money. You only give 36 scholarships.
Right.
So, and you heard Coach Dobbins said, DB Dobbins coach said, hey, there's only 150 kids going out, right? For Division II. Well, every one of those kids ain't gonna get money.
Right.
So they might give you a little bit of the cookie, but but if this kid was a D1 player and he come down here to Division II, he's gonna get a little bit bigger piece of that cookie. So every kid probably could use $500, and
it'll definitely help pay for like books and fees. Like, even though I go to Rose State, which is just a local college, I'm on they call it Ticket to Rose, so I got tuition, everything paid for. But a thing that it doesn't cover is books. So if I enroll in a class and it requires a textbook, that might be $150, $200, anywhere around there. That comes out of my pocket, so that can definitely help out with it. With some kids going in, playing D2. NAIA ball, yeah. So
that's something
that we're doing that.
That's something we're gonna do, though, man. I mean, like I said, I got some guys that's gonna, back me and got my back. So, shout out to those guys, But once we kind of get everything right, unwrapped or unrattled, however you want to say it.
Unraveled.
Unraveled. That's it. Hey, Big E always picks me up. Thanks, Big E. But it's going to help us. Like I said, I want to get back. Because it's not about keeping 100. It's about the kids. At the end of the day, I got my blessings. I'm blessed, have 5 beautiful kids and a beautiful wife and my dog Baxter, and then have this young man sit next to me and do this show with me. I am blessed to have that because I want to get back now because, at the end of the day, I always tell people, you can have all the money in the world you want. But at the end of the day, my mom used to always tell me, you can't take it to heaven and you can't take it to hell. So you might as well spread it out and give it to people. Because sometimes we get caught up in materialistic things. Right. But I'll tell you right now, man, I want to help a young man out or a young lady out because they might need it more than me or you or the next person. So that's one thing that we will do, though, keep it 100. You can mark my word. We will give out scholarships like to 2 individuals, one for the spring and one for the fall. But folks, like I said, it's another great episode of Keeping It 100. You can follow E at what?
You follow me on Twitter at Ethan_Z_Davis. On Instagram at Ethan.Davis88. And then that's about all I'm on. Facebook, Ethan Davis. You can go follow me on
Davis,
there.
baby. Yeah. You can catch us on the Keep It 100, Tony Johnson Keep It 100 Facebook page. You can follow me at High Keeping. That's my Twitter account. My other Twitter account is Quick Clinic. Don't use that much, for Keep It 100, but I'm still on it. And I just tell you, we got 2 Facebook pages. I got my Tony Johnson, my regular one, but I got my Keep It 100. But I tell you, man, give us feedback, man. We love it when we get feedback. I know Charles Fleming always gives feedback, and we love it when you people giving us, tell us what we're doing good and what we're doing bad. I mean, I had a guy last week, he called me, we talked. Me and him usually have I'm not going to say his name. He knows what I'm talking about. But me and him usually talk about once a week. And, we bump heads. But, at the end of the day, I respect him. He respects me. He's at the end of the day, he's a great individual. I like the guy. He kind of helps me playing stuff out. I'm lucky to be blessed to have Ethan and, RT. I know we talk about RT a lot, but RT does a lot behind the scenes that you guys don't know, helping keep it 100. Get the people we need to get and, get the guys in and women, whoever we need to talk to. Yeah. He does a lot of that. So I really, like to thank him. I know we don't thank him enough.
Shout out to RT for sure.
Yes, RT. And like I said, shout out to my wife. She keep us going in this room and, helping me get my new TV and my table and all that stuff. Like I said, me and Ed ain't made a dime on this. We paying money out, but at the end of the day, I'm blessed. Like I said, to work by side with this young man and
back at you, Tony.
Yeah, he's getting better and better each week. I keep telling me, that's why I wanted him to do Alton's, interview him. He needs to take over and have his own segment of the show. So once again, we love you. We appreciate you for watching another show of what?
Keeping it 100.
Oklahoma. What?
Keeping it 100. Oklahoma High School Sports.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Peace.